Summer's over and you just want to kick back and relax after all that hard work. But the reality is, you can't be sitting here watching the footy. There's still some things to do in the garden. And if you get out there now while it's not too hot or too cold, you can really set your garden up for winter, next spring and next summer. But maybe do it in your own backyard. Now, the first thing I'd recommend is to fertilise the garden. For the veggie patch, I like the smelly stuff. It's organic and my family's going to be eating it. I like to put it out lightly, often, water it in straight away. For the rest of the garden and the lawn, I splash around a bit of liquid fertiliser because it's quick and easy to do. And for my pots and precious plants, I put slow release on it. This is going to get a constant feed all year round. And when it comes to harvesting water, things have got a lot easier. If you've got room for a bucket, you've got room for one of these. The best thing about it, you can buy all the bits and bobs and connect it to the downwater yourself, and you're saving every precious drop. Now it's just got to rain. Now, any time of the year is a good time to think about composting, but especially in autumn because all the leaves are falling off our deciduous trees. But where do you start? Well, I like to keep it simple. What I'm going to go for is old school. And I reckon bigger is better. To trick up the compost a little bit, I've got an off-cut of PVC. Now, it's about 60 mil in diameter, and I'm putting holes about every 15 centimetres. And what I call it is like a worm high-rise. You can put it in the centre of your compost, it'll stand there, and the worms can go from entree to main to dessert. It can move around quicker, which means it'll break down quicker. Autumn's my favourite time to work in the garden because it's still light and bright and quite warm, but not stinking hot. That means the plants are still warm and the ground's still warm, so you can transplant things. What I've got here is Lirio. When I moved in here about 5 years ago, I put a couple of sprigs in the ground that I pinched from Mum and Dad. It's done that well. I can now pinch it and make some more plants. Now, the water does a couple of things. It loosens all the soil and the mulch away from the roots, and it keeps the roots damp so the plant goes through less shock. If you're lucky, they'll come apart relatively easy. And straight away, I've already got 3 plants. Throw that in there, fill it with soil. Come spring, they'll go straight into the ground. 5 minutes work. This one here, fully established, would be about a $30 plant. So if I work it out on an hourly rate, I could be a millionaire with Lirio. Really, the garden's a little bit like me. Once it's been fed and watered, it's going to be content. You'll still get growth through autumn, and it's going to survive winter. Now it's my turn. Oh, I left my drink at Bunnings.